Hello all, this is Sai, and we have chosen polling system using the blockchain. We are the blockchain group one, and can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so coming to this polling system, in the present era, online voting has become an increasing popular sport. So it has a lot of promise for lowering administrative expenses and increasing voter participation. So in this online polling system, this eliminates the requirements for the voter to go to a polling location and also the other expenses which incur and all the security and all the pre-arrangements which need to be done. And a single flaw of this polling potential is to lead to large-scale voting tampering. This also helps in covering that. And when utilized for electronic voting system, elections which are valid, and these can be accurate, secure, and also the easiest ways. However, there are few issues with the electronic voting system that may restrict the adoption. So using the blockchain, we can address these concerns, and it provides decentralized nodes for electronic voting, and it is utilized to create electronic voting system due to its end-to-end verification benefits. So in this slide, I can also cover the working demo, and the system was built to enable a real world setting into the consideration like real world needs like privacy, eligibility, convenience, receipt-free voting, and also the verifiability. So a user-friendly administrative interface can also be built, which gives access to the voters which are already verified, and also to the candidates which the system displays, like who are all candidating for the elections. And since there's an obvious requirement to administrate them, furthermore, the methods can provide equal voting rights to all the voters and also the foster a fair and healthy competition among all the candidates, while also preserving the voter anonymity. So next slide. So in this slide, we have mentioned proposed e-voting system architecture, like various levels of the user interaction, front-end security, and what admin does, what voters do, and also various data sources which we have. And yeah, from here on, my friend Divya will continue. Thank you.
Yeah. As I said, those 4 layers, the very first layer is the user interaction and front-end security layer. This is in charge of engaging with the voters and administrators. It does mainly facilitate the vote casting operations, and it supports pertaining to administrating the election processes. This layer performs mainly 2 main functions, which is user authorization and user authentication. The users here refer to the voters and as well as the administrators as well. So this does these 2 functions because it limits the access to only the voter list voters, and the user authentication can be done from using the simple passwords to like complex like iris recognition or fingerprinting, etc. Coming to the second layer, which is access control management. This layer supports both layer 1 and layer 2. Here, roles are defined, and access control regulations and voting transaction definitions are all the part of these services provided by the access control management. The main component is the layer 3 component, which is e-voting transaction management layer. This layer maps the e-voting transaction created at the role management or the transaction layer onto the blockchain transaction, which is to be mined. This mapping transaction includes the authentication credentials given by the voter as well. Coming to the layer 4, which is ledger synchronization layer. This uses one of the databases where the database contains the vote casts. So this uses the technologies to synchronize to the multi-chain ledger. So from next on, the problem in the scope solution is discussed by my friend Hassan.
Okay, thank you, Divya, for describe the diagram. So to make the successful the online voting system, we have to meet some requirements. Among them requirements, one of them is the democracy. Like in real life, only eligible voter are able to do vote. So we have to make sure this only on on online voting systems. And another thing is that vote privacy. After a vote has been cast, no one should be able to know the voter identity who he has been give his vote. And another thing is that transparency and fairness. It implies that no one will be find the information before the count is made public. Another requirements is soundness. So we have to find out the invalid ballots and did not count the throughout when we do the final counting. And another thing is that completeness. All eligible ballots should be appropriately tabulated. And last, availability and mobility. Voting system should be always available during the voting sessions. The location of the vote should not be limited in voting systems. So to meet those requirements, we are proposing some solutions. One of them is democracy. So we will need to make a database where all voters will be registered, and after giving one vote, no one will able to do recast their vote. And another thing is that the vote privacy. So the sender blinds their messages before sending it for signature. And to do the transparency and fairness, so voters encrypt their selection before transmitting them, and those choices are decoded at the end of the voting process, ensuring that no one gets intermediate outcomes. So if we talk about soundness and completeness, though it sounds like it easy to implement, but to going through all this process, it might be difficult for us. Because of the protocol. So by considering all of these things, we are proposing this kind of interface where the first picture will be the voter will know who is the competing with each others, and this is for the admin where they will see the how much how percentage every candidate get, and this third option is for the we can add a new poll to add the new item in the polling system. So that's all from our team. Next we will try to implement it and start our coding. Thank you, team.